Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Assalamu Alaikum, A Renewal, Pax Vobiscum, and in English, Peace be unto you. Welcome back to the Septuagint versus the Masoretic YouTube channel. This is the only ministry in the world where we look at the oldest Bible translation, which is the Septuagint. Was 250 years before Jesus Christ. One of the oldest. I mean, Dead Sea Scrolls is also up there, but it's not complete as the Septuagint, not as complete. And we look at the Masoretic text, which came after Yeshua HaMashiach was fully developed about 1,000 years after he had already lived and was resurrected. So we look at those two from Genesis to the end of the prophets, and we find ourselves in the book of Judges, chapter 10 in this video. There are 18 verses in this chapter, beginning in verse 6. I want to point out that the children of Israel, notice that they all worshipped other Elohim. I'm not going to name the names, but you can read them for yourself in this verse, or where they are from at least. And they forsook Yah and did not serve him. So this is just an observation I made. Not even a small percentage served him. They completely abandoned serving Yah, sadly. Otherwise, it would have mentioned that, okay, a small group did, maybe 100, nothing. They all went whoring after other Elohim. Okay, verse 10, it says here, our Elohim. They added the word our in the Masoretic. Okay, and last verse we're going to look at is verse 16. They put away the strange Elohim from the midst of them and served Yah only. And this is an interesting expression that is used here. And his soul, which is Yah's soul, was pained for the trouble of Israel. So his soul was pained. He was emotionally in pain for the trouble they seem to have put themselves in as a result of serving the strange Elohim. Perhaps it's like a parent who is in pain for their child who made mistakes in their life, and they're paying for the consequences of their poor decisions. If only they'd listened, perhaps, it would be the parent's mantra. In the Masoretic text, it is expressed thusly. His soul, Yah's soul, was grieved for the misery of Israel. So we can see it's not expressed in the same way because although he's emotionally grieved, not pained, it's because of the misery of Israel. So they're miserable. That could be expressed or explained in multiple ways. Could be they're in depression, could be sadness, just a miserable state, so poor health perhaps. But we can see that in the Septuagint it's a lot more clear, and I please apologize for the background noise there. I can't control that. The trouble of Israel. Let me pause and just close the window. It is quite annoying. It's disruptive. Hold on a moment. Okay, welcome back. And pardon the interruption. Godspeed the day when all humanity will be keeping the Shabbat, and I can present this in peace and quiet and tranquility. So, as I was saying, the soul of Yah was grieved for the misery of Israel. So what's the difference? Well, Yah's in pain, not being grieved. He's not mourning over Israel. like he lost them, he's pained, like as a parent would be. And the misery of Israel, it's not that they're sad or in a bad state in terms of their health. Maybe spiritually, yeah, spiritual misery. But they caused themselves trouble because when they served other Elohim, they reap the consequences of their decision, and those have to, in a way, run their course, to use a term, to use that expression, that they still have to pay for their sins. There's the penalty of sin is death. There has to be a sacrifice made. There has to be peace offerings. There has to be a sin offering. There has to be something that Israel does, or at least is done between Israel and Yah, to reconcile them. So he's paying for the trouble of Israel. They made bad decisions by serving the strange Elohim, and they're paying for those consequences. So, and Yah's law requires that those things be met. Unless he is merciful and forgives them, puts away the sin, they have to deal, and we all do, we all have to deal with the consequences of our poor decisions. So that's all for this video and this chapter. It's quite brief, but most of the differences really were in terms of names. I'll just scan this quickly and see if there's anything that should be mentioned. I don't really see anything. Yeah, that's about it. So thank you very much for your time. Until next time, we'll look at Judges chapter 11. And our aim is to finish this book of Judges before the end of the week, the next week. So before Shabbat, the next Shabbat. And what a blessing it is to be able to do this, present these truths to you, and to do this freely, and to be able to post this in a public domain, which YouTube allows access to, and I'm thankful and grateful for that. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Till next time, Shabbat Shalom, Shalom Aleichem, Salamu Alaikum. A renewal, Pax Vobiscum, and peace be unto you. Maranatha.